after test riding the ZZR 1400, riding this, and generally, I've test ridden a Blackbird as well. You know, I wanted to test ride the Hayabusa, but you can't help but question, in this day and age, like especially with Euro 4, is there a place for large capacity, ridiculous speed motorcycles? I mean, personally, I say yes, because I enjoy the living hell out of them. I would just, you know, I would own every big, because I prefer it to a sports bike. They're comfier for a start. And not only they're comfier, but they're just loaded with torque. And that's what makes them brilliant. You can just cruise all day on them. Like this. I can change gear at like 2,000 revs when I'm in the city, and it just coasts along, which is lovely. Oh, goddamn. The Euro 4 regulations mean we're already losing the Rocket 3, which admittedly was the most ridiculous of the ridiculous, with a 2.3 litre triple. But it was all torque. It was like 160 foot-pound of torque or something insane number. And this, it's torque. That's all it is. Like, it's low on power, but high on torque. And I think that is what makes it ideal. Like these big bikes, they just make life easier. The ZZR 1400, that's becoming Euro 4 compliant. At the time of this video, I don't believe that Suzuki has made the Hayabusa Euro 4 compliant yet. It doesn't mean they won't. Obviously, Honda doesn't make the Blackbird anymore, which is a humongous pain in the ass. They make the VFR 1200F, but that's not quite the same. Admittedly, lovely V4 engine, it's shaft drive. Brilliant tourer. Well, it would be if it wasn't for the pitifully low fuel range. Damn right! Dude's smoking weed, that's why. Admittedly, the downsides for motorcycles can be many, like the humongous weight. They're not always fantastic for filtering, but I still seriously don't see why we can't have big motorcycles in this world. Though saying that, they're making the smaller motorcycles, like, because of the refinements to engines now and the lightweight parts, they're as durable as old large motorcycles used to be, where all the funding goes. Because the funding eventually trickles down. And on top of that, like, smaller bikes are getting more powerful, more torquey, and they're more economical. So really, why wouldn't you get a smaller bike? Like a 600 or something? Or a 650? Why would you go and get a 1300 or a 1400? When it's lighter, more economical, it can be a bit punchier depending on the power to weight. It can generally be more fun. I've proven that in my other videos. Because so far, all the videos I've done, except for this, I'm like middleweight. I've done the 500 that my dad's riding. I've done the 650 Suzuki, and the 675 Street Triple. And all of a sudden, I've gone straight to a 1400. So there is an obvious... I've become quite aware of the obvious difference in weight and power. Like, I get off those smaller bikes, get on this, and it feels heavy and cumbersome, but you can feel the torque more, but it doesn't feel as fast. Where, as I got off the ZZR 1400, and it just pulls and pulls, so I get on this, and it feels weedy like a 500 or something. And it feels like you need to wring its neck out a bit more. And it feels tall and thin, but it's not. It's just generally, you got to ask yourself, what do you do? What do you need? If you live in the city and you get from one side to the other, get something smaller. Because then when you can go out, you can enjoy it. But you need to think, what do you do the majority of the time? Whereas if you travel down a motorway and then you have lots of time to go and explore, like the Peak District and stuff like that, get the bigger bike. You'll enjoy it more. If you do track days, obviously, something more powerful will be more fun, or like more aggressive on track, but something smaller shouldn't stop you having fun. At the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference. I like the larger motorcycles because they feel more stable to me. I feel like I can get on one, just go. basically, because it feels planted. You're not worrying all the time about making sure you're in the right gear. You bung it in 6th gear and you go. You just cruise along. I'm in 4th gear now, I'm doing 30. I got up another gear if I didn't know I was going to turn off at this roundabout. In fact, the roundabout's here. I know for what my dad does, the GPZ works fine. He uses it to get to here and there and these little rides out. I take my wife on the back of mine, which means there's obviously the weight of 2 people plus any luggage you might have, and occasionally doing the shopping. That's horrendous. Fuck, that pink was so bright it distracted me really badly. So I know his is ideal for him and mine's ideal for me. Immediately I'm considering getting a smaller motorcycle after this one, if only because it's just going to be more, like, it's going to be more fun for what I have to do. I don't do long treks. I'd love to do long treks. I don't have the fucking time. Today was one of those rare days I can actually go out and enjoy myself. Go and review something. Go and just have fun on a nice little trip. Which means that this big engine is not being used a lot, because most of the time I'm doing a maximum of 10 miles in a route. Maybe 11, depending if I vary it a bit. It's entirely up to you. That's it. If I did more miles, I'd get a bigger bike, but I don't. So I'm going to get something smaller, maybe 650. Anyway, do you want to leave in the comments below if you prefer larger motorcycles or smaller motorcycles? You know what I mean, like bigger engine, smaller engine type stuff, not in size. Yeah, leave it in the comments below. Let's see if we can start a discussion on this. Anyway, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TVBS Bailout. All the description, or all the information will be in the description below. I'm going to bail out. Cheers.